Hi, I'm Reuben from Next Adventure, and we're here today to talk about how to choose crampons. Crampons are a necessary piece of equipment for mountaineering. They provide traction on snow and ice when you're climbing. Here at Next Adventure, we carry a bunch of different brands and styles of crampons, and we're here today to talk about how to point you in the right direction and get you in the gear that you need. Aluminum crampons are significantly lighter than their steel counterparts. However, they're not nearly as durable. They tend to be less aggressive, oftentimes with fewer points, and they're not as sharp out of the box as steel crampons. If you're climbing in areas with harder rock, such as granite, you'll often dull the points quite quickly, and you can only sharpen them one, maybe two times before you're taking off too much material. Steel crampons are going to be significantly heavier, however, they're going to be much more durable. Steel crampons are very easy to sharpen and can be sharpened numerous times. A good pair of steel crampons can easily last you 10 to 15 years. When you're thinking about steel versus aluminum crampons, consider weight versus durability. Aluminum crampons weigh a lot less, but are less durable. Steel crampons weigh a lot more, but are more durable. The next distinction that you're going to need to make is whether you need horizontal front points or vertical front points. Crampons for general mountaineering and less technical terrain are going to have horizontally oriented front points so that they're better able to gain traction on softer snow. Crampons for more technical mountaineering and ice climbing are going to have vertically oriented front points so that they can penetrate steep and hard ice. Vertical front points are made of steel and sometimes are modular, meaning that they can be moved around and are interchangeable. This means that you can replace them when they wear out. It also means that you can move them and have two or one, depending on the type of climbing that you're doing and your personal preference. Though you can use crampons with the vertical front points for general mountaineering, they tend to be heavier, don't work as well in soft snow, and are also more expensive. Before choosing which crampon fits your particular model of boot best, the final step is to choose your attachment system. Crampons come with three primary kinds of bindings: universal, semi-automatic, and automatic. Universal crampons have two plastic cages, one at the toe and one at the heel. This means that they can be bound to nearly any mountaineering boot that's stiff enough to support a crampon. They're secured by placing the nose of the boot into the front toe bale, setting the heel back, taking the strap and making a triangle shape, up through the nose, around to the other side of the heel, and in front and secured on the side, typically through a set of double rings. Be sure to tuck this strap out of the way so you don't catch it with your other crampon. Semi-automatic crampons are going to have a plastic toe bale in the front, however, a metal heel lever in the back with some sort of plastic lever. To put them on, you'll place the nose of the boot in the plastic toe bale, and then take the plastic lever and lever it up onto the rear heel welt. The advantage of a semi-automatic binding system is that it tends to be a little bit more secure, particularly in the heel. This is the most common type of binding attachment you'll find because it can attach to nearly any mountaineering boot on the market and it's very secure. Now, the final type of crampon attachment system that you'll find is a fully automatic or a step-in crampon. This means that it'll have the same heel lever that a semi-automatic had, however in the toe it'll have a metal toe bale. There are only some boots are compatible with this type of crampon. Because the toe bale is so small, it will sit on a small lip on the toe of the boot, which means that they will only go on very, very stiff mountaineering and ice climbing boots. You notice on a softer boot, like the Scarpa Charmaz Outdry, the boot isn't stiff enough to accommodate a fully automatic crampon. The boot should be inserted into the front of the crampon such that the metal toe bale sits on the lip, and the boot seated in the back piece of the crampons, and once again, the heel lever will sit up on the heel welt. The strap will run through some sort of toe piece, and once again around the double rings secured in the back. We have demos of both the Cassin Alpinist and the Camp Stalker available for rent in our rental fleet, as well as both the boots used here, the Scarpa Rebel Pro and the Scarpa Charmaz Outdry. There are several other things to consider when buying crampons. If you're unsure of what you need, feel free to come on in and stop by our climbing department, and someone here will be happy to help you out.